Only on 4, a drunk driver crashes near a playground and disappears. Alcohol was not the only reason he shouldn't have been behind the wheel. Mara?
More than a dozen people sick with something that is not your usual food poisoning. Tonight, the Macomb County Health Department is sending out the alert to medical providers.
The community rallying around a mother with a rare and deadly brain cancer, but her life isn't the only one at risk.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
We begin the news at 11 with this wild rollover crash in a neighborhood full of children.
The driver not only drunk, but also without a license. Tim Pamplin has the night cam on the scene.
The cleanup operation just getting underway here at Edward and Martin, southwest Detroit. After a 60-year-old unlicensed driver that police are saying was drunk rolled his pickup truck, taking out a utility pole. Now, as I said, he doesn't hold a license, but he was holding a 40-ounce. Several 40 ounces came tumbling out of this vehicle. Police say this man was so drunk he could barely walk. When they showed up on the scene, he was nowhere to be found. He went off that way. Well, it didn't take too long. A couple of blocks over, they found the 60-year-old staggering through an alleyway. He'll be getting a ride the rest of the way. This could have ended a lot more seriously. Lots of children out playing in this neighborhood tonight. They witnessed this, ran for cover. So back out here, amazing. This driver wasn't hurt and those children were able to stay out of harm's way. That is the scene in southwest Detroit tonight with a night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim. The Macomb County Health Department is putting out the alert tonight to hospitals and other healthcare providers. More than a dozen people got sick with something worse than food poisoning. Mara McDonald is live. Mara, this illness is called Cyclospora.
It is, Kimberly, and here's the difference. When you eat a bad piece of chicken or whatever and you get food poisoning, you're going to feel bad for 24 hours and then it sort of moves on. Cyclospora is a parasite, and it's not going anywhere in 24 hours or days or weeks. The parasite lives in produce like lettuce, basil, cilantro, even raspberries, and it's hard to kill. Just washing the produce doesn't mean it will go away. The Macomb County Health Department has an active investigation going into how more than a dozen people got sick with it and have traced it back to caterers. Jeff Crank, who owns Crank's Catering in Shelby Township, got a call after an event his longtime company catered in June about some guests getting sick. He got on the phone right away.
The health department did not call us. We called the health department. Anytime somebody asks that if they're sick at a party or something, we will call the health department to find out if there's any breakouts.
Turns out there's been a 134% increase in Cyclospora cases in the United States this summer. It's coming in from produce from subtropical areas. The health department here says it doesn't appear Crank or any other caterer is the problem. Even so, Crank's given the health department a list of all the events he's recently catered, so a source can hopefully be found.
We're reaching out to the community. We know that we did not physically get them sick.
This parasite is miserable. It usually manifests in about a week after eating something that has it on it, and then comes the vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and other flu symptoms. And it's not just going to go away. It needs treatment with antibiotics. Otherwise, you'll feel this way for weeks, even months. Back here live, one of the reasons that the health department here decided to send out a bulletin to healthcare providers and hospitals is that they need to know to look for this if someone comes in presenting these symptoms, because this is something that can only be diagnosed with a stool sample. Kimberly, Devin, back to you.
How scary. Well, Mara, has the health department found any traces in any restaurants or any place else like that?
No, they haven't found anything anywhere else. And let me emphasize that whatever bad batch of stuff came through here was in June. They haven't seen anything later than that. And as far as a source of that, they've got some ideas. They're not quite sure. Could it be raspberries? Could it be lettuce? Could be anything.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Keep us posted, Mara. Thank you.
Well, North Korea now setting a timeline for when it claims it will strike the U.S. territory of Guam. In a very specific threat late this evening, North Korea says it will complete its plan to attack the Pacific island by mid-August and then wait for Kim Jong-un's order to strike. Guam is just over 2,000 miles from North Korea. It's actually about the size of the city of Chicago. It's the home to 160,000 people, all U.S. citizens. President Trump has yet to respond to the latest threat.
She is a mother of 5, and her family hopes that she will soon be the mother of 6. But she's fighting an aggressive form of brain cancer, and it's not just her life that's on the line. Jermont Terry is live in Ann Arbor, where doctors are hoping to save 2 lives here. Jermont.
Yes, Kimberly, this family from Western Michigan is hoping for a miracle here at U of M. It entails doctors keeping this terminally ill pregnant mother alive and also trying to save the child growing inside of her. Most people come to the hospital believing they will eventually get better. But as Carrie DeClyon sits in the hospital room at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor, her family realizes the chances of her coming home are slim.
I don't know how families that do not have the support that we have get through a trial like this.
Support is what Carrie, her husband, and their 5 children are relying on. Back in April, the mother was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor. 2 weeks later, Carrie found out she was pregnant with her 6th child. Doctors removed the tumor twice, but the cancer returned. They recommended terminating the 6th child so that she could try a clinical drug.
This trial, they said, would have prolonged her life, medically speaking, even longer, but they chose to continue with the pregnancy.
Sonia Nelson holds Carrie's 2-year-old son extra tight, and while he likely won't see mommy again, just maybe he'll get a chance to see what mommy fought hard to bring into this world, his baby sister.
And you feel like your world just crumbles before your eyes.
Carrie's family is not giving up. She had a stroke and is semi-conscious at U of M. The life expectancy for someone with her form of cancer is 15 months. And now her family is just hoping to keep her breathing 8 more weeks so they can deliver the baby at 28 weeks.
But we want her to wake up. You know what I'm saying? We would love for her to be able to see this gift that she gave. You know, she gave this child a gift of life.
The family says that Carrie is a fighter and they are most definitely remaining optimistic, but also relying on their faith, hoping maybe a miracle could happen that Carrie can survive this as well. We wish them the very best. For now, reporting live in Ann Arbor tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
Indeed, Jermont. All right, thank you.
A former Harper Woods police officer is free on bond tonight, hours after appearing in court on felony charges. Michael Lynch is accused of stealing items from the police department's property room, also charged with heroin possession. He was fired from the force after he became a suspect in this case. Lynch is due back in court next month.
A shooting in Detroit's Midtown, and now police are trying to find these 2 men. Last Thursday, they got into a confrontation with the 24-year-old victim, pulled a gun, and shot him in the leg. The surveillance video shows them in a nearby convenience store just 15 minutes before the shooting. Anyone with information should contact Detroit police.
Today, on what would have been her 34th birthday, police released new details about the murder of Chelsea Small. She was shot to death in 2013 inside the Advance America in Taylor. Surveillance video shows her killer walking in. Today, police revealed his gun was equipped with a long silencer. So they say that this indicates he went into the store with the intent to kill, not to simply rob the store as was originally thought. Oakland County is warning about harmful algae blooms in local lakes.
The County Health Division is asking people and pets to use caution and avoid direct contact with water that appears scummy, has a green tint to it, or looks like spilled paint. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality has notified the county about Sugden Lake in White Lake Township and Pontiac Lake in Waterford. The Health Division is posting signs at both places.
A popular destination for kids' birthday parties getting a bit of a makeover. We're going to show you the new look at Chuck E. Cheese's.
We'll have that coming up, plus fast food fireworks. The story behind this video inside a Wendy's restaurant. Ben?
Kim, if you like today, you're going to love tomorrow. Almost identical temperatures, still low humidity, but our one chance of rain in the forecast is now in view, and we'll run it down for you next.
It can happen in an instant. Crashes where cars slam into buildings, hurting innocent bystanders inside stores and restaurants you visit.
I'm Karen Drew. See the new tests engineers are doing that could change how storefronts protect shoppers. Next.
It looks like
There are accidents that can happen every day in this country, including here in Metro Detroit. The biggest risk is for shoppers and business owners who are just going about their day when a driver slams into the storefront. In fact, engineers from Texas A&M University are studying ways to stop these kinds of crashes.
It's amazing how often we report them. Tonight, Karen Drew gives us a closer look at new technology you could be seeing soon at shopping centers.
Cars into buildings. Horrifying crash scenes, not on the highway, but inside the stores and restaurants you visit. According to the Storefront Safety Council, these crashes happen 60 times a day, every day in this country, killing as many as 500 people a year, injuring more than 4,000. People like Miguel Cedillo, a husband and father seriously injured as he was eating dinner with his family. Suddenly, a car came crashing through the glass window where he was sitting.
I got very scared when I saw the car was coming. I thought it was going to hit us. Sure enough, it hit us.
According to Miguel, he was pinned, his leg severely injured.
His leg was crushed to such a degree, the doctor said we simply can't save it, we have to amputate.
Now, engineers at the Texas A&M Transportation Institute are developing and testing newer and stronger storefront barriers to keep accidents like this from happening. These are examples of the old-fashioned standard design barriers called ballards that sit in front of stores and restaurants nationwide.
And it's basically just a steel pipe. A lot of people use common pipe, they put it in the ground, they fill it with concrete.
The problem is, for years, many of those ballards were never tested. And when engineers did test them by running test cars into them at just 10 miles an hour, they went down like bowling pins.
If I owned the store, I wouldn't have this in front of it.
Texas A&M's Michael Bracken wants you to see a new kind of protective ballard, one he's spent years designing along with a company called Traffic Guard. Watch as scientists prep to crash this 5,000-pound unmanned test vehicle into this new state-of-the-art protective ballard. The car is traveling at 10 miles an hour. And the barrier works. The test car is stopped dead in its tracks. Time to up the stakes. Engineers will try it again, this time at 30 miles an hour. And that works too, even at 30 miles an hour. The pole flexes and bends back about 12 inches or so, but that's it. The ballard stands its ground, and anyone standing behind it would be protected.
We're really focused on building an environment, a safe environment, so that people are in fact protected from an errant driver, distracted driver.
Texas A&M hopes to establish new standards and those new barriers. Of course, we'll let you know about the developments. I'm Karen Drew, Local 4 News.
It's a lot of technology going into this, but then you realize how many there are a day.
That's what I was going to say. It just is remarkable how many there are.
Yeah. Karen is already busy working on her story for tomorrow night.
He was beaten nearly to death by his own brother. We showed you his miraculous recovery from this to this. We were there when he took part in his first 5K race.
Now we're helping Sal Cipriano make his dream come true right here at Comerica Park. Tomorrow he'll be throwing out the first pitch, and we'll be with him every step of the way. My special report tomorrow at 11.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, great story. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think we'd take more.
I would absolutely. You know what?
Please?
Just go
Yes.
home and we'll just like run the forecast from the last couple of days.
Done. You don't need to tell me twice. I'm out of here.
Are you a hologram?
Well,
put my hand through you.
A hologram without a check, apparently. It was a nice night over at the ballpark tonight.
Yeah.
And we're still seeing those temperatures, which are very comfortable outside. Low 70s in our metro zone, 60s ringing the area, and we will be down to the 50s in most locations, probably some 60s here around the city as we start out tomorrow morning, pretty close to average for this time of year. Notice also that the humidity is just imperceptibly creeping up. We've been in the mid and even low 50s for dew points. Now we're starting to see some of these climb into the 60s. That's just to noticeable levels, not necessarily muggy, and probably won't climb much higher, but I think we are going to see just about the entire area with these low 60-degree dew points tomorrow. What a gorgeous night here. We got a lot of pictures on Storm Pins, and this is from West Bloomfield. Summer evening out there makes you just want to jump in and go for a swim. But we do see the rain, which is on the horizon, and we can see it on the other side of the lake. This is not going to make it to us, or at least that system's not going to make it to us until early Friday. We've got 2 shots of rain there on Friday, and that's it for the forecast all the way through the middle of next week. And as we go through the forecast maps tonight, we're going to remain on the clear side. Tomorrow we start out with sunshine. We are going to add those clouds in the afternoon, just like what we saw today. But you can see once we get into very late Friday or Thursday night, and this is really technically Friday morning, by about 3 a.m. or so, we are going to see some showers move in here. By 1, 2 o'clock, those will start popping in the afternoon for our second round. That's a little bit better of a chance in the afternoon. And some of those will be thunderstorms, but we're not anticipating anything severe. Beyond that, high pressure settles in for the weekend, and things look great again. In fact, we're going to see the humidity go back down, and those temperatures will actually be cooler for Saturday and Sunday. 63 tonight. Skies mostly clear. Air is going to be calm. We'll break down those highs tomorrow, which are going to be almost identical to what we saw today. Metro zone highs 83, 84 is what we're expecting. A little bit cooler down here in our south zone, at least in spots, especially down here towards Lake Erie, where we'll be in the upper 70s. Mid 80s out in Lenawee County. West zone temperatures are going to be low to mid 80s here, anywhere between 82 in Flint and 84 down in Ann Arbor, and maybe some 70s up here in Sanilac County, but otherwise low 80s through most of our north zone tomorrow. And temperatures very consistent all the way through the middle of next week. Coolest that we get is 79. Tomorrow actually is going to be the hottest number at 84. But once we get this humidity out of here on Friday, it is going to be a very nice weekend ahead. I know it's not enough rain for a lot of folks, but man,
it's dry, but it's just so nice. It's hard to.
Yeah, especially with school sort of looming in the background. Every weekend is precious.
Hear it. That's right. A cruel crime. The search is on for the person who abandoned a dog in the middle of the road.
And fast food fright, how fireworks ended up going off inside a restaurant. Next.
Coming up tomorrow on Local 4 News Today, local stories from all across the metro area, including all the overnight breaking stories that could impact your day, plus a Help Me Hank special report.
It looks like a great deal being offered by Delta Airlines, but is it legit or is it a big scam? Help Me Hank investigates starting at 6 a.m.
And all morning long, weather and traffic always on the 4s. Detroit mornings start here from 4:30 to 7 a.m. See you Thursday morning.
Oak Park police are looking for 2 men who robbed a 7-Eleven at gunpoint. Happened on Coolidge around 11:45 Saturday night. Thieves made off with about $70, a pack of cigarettes. Not much, but it's a crime. If you recognize them, contact police.
Oakland University's basketball coach is talking about his near-death experience. Greg Campy ended up in the hospital with sepsis after kidney stones became infected. His temperature skyrocketed to nearly 107 degrees, and he spent 5 days in intensive care. He's doing well now and ready to coach his 34th season at OU.
Detroit Police Department held its annual LGBT community chat at Palmer Park today. It gives the LGBT community and allies of all backgrounds to come together and share their experiences while trying to find a way to create a more inclusive Detroit.
New video shows the moment someone threw a lit firework into a Wendy's restaurant. You can see an employee sitting at a table near the door. The door opens and something is tossed inside. Seconds later, the firework explodes. The worker jumps up and runs. Nobody was hurt. The blast, though, did cause a 7-inch hole in the base of the wall.
Also in Florida, a heartbreaking video shows a driver stopping in the middle of the road and abandoning a dog. Another driver's dashboard camera caught it all, caught the moment the car in front of him stopped and the dog was pushed out the door. The car then takes off with the dog running after it. Other drivers stopped, tried to catch the driver, but he got away. Also tried to catch the dog, but he got away. So police are now looking for the person who ditched the dog, and they're not sure tonight where the dog is.
A popular location for children's birthday parties is getting a makeover. Chuck E. Cheese's owner says select locations will get a makeover that will make the experience more enjoyable for adults. Some of the changes will include sleeker furniture, brighter lighting, and muted colors. The company says 7 stores in Kansas City and San Antonio will be renovated for now. If all goes well, other locations will also get an upgrade.